this morning. My name's Susan Tomasky. I'm chair of the board of the Columbus Airport Authority, and as a result, it's my honor this morning to welcome you to this spectacular facility and this wonderful, wonderful event, the grand opening of our beautiful, modernized Port Columbus Airport. I'm joined this morning by a number of members of our board, and I'm going to ask each of them to raise their hands so that you can thank them or pester them or make excellent suggestions to them over the course of today's activities. And Don Casto, Jordan Miller, Dwight Smith, Kathy Ranzier, and Bill Heifner. Thank you all for all of your support for this. So we are really, really excited about this today, as you might imagine, and we are particularly excited that we have so many community leaders here today to celebrate this event who appreciate the real value of what our airport and our airports bring to this community. I particularly want to recognize our mayor of the city of Columbus, Andy Ginther, our Franklin County commissioners who are here with us today, Marilyn Brown and Paula Brooks, and of course, John O'Grady, who could not be with us, is also a strong supporter of our activities. The work that our community leaders do to support the activity of this airport is incredibly important, and it's been critical for our success for a number of years, because what we're doing here today is really one of a series of important projects that have elevated the game of the Columbus Airport Authority. The runway project that you're aware of, the growth and expansion at Rickenbacker, all of those things are part and parcel of connecting Columbus to the world. So our congressional delegation, their representatives are here with us today. Senator Portman's representative, Senator Brown, our congressional delegation. We thank all of you for the support that you've given us in helping us do the best we can to meet the ambitious needs of this community going forward. So this morning you're going to hear a lot about the skylights, which you see are big and beautiful, and the terrazzo, and there's a lot of it. And you're going to hear a little bit about budgets, and the key word you need to remember there is on. But I also want to say that this morning is about thanks to the many, many passengers and the hundreds of people who go through, millions of people who go through Port Columbus, and the hundreds of people who have made this dream a reality, because the dream is not just a beautiful airport, but a high-functioning one. And I think that it's safe to say that that's what we have today, and that is what connects Columbus, which you see right there, and Franklin County, to the world. That's what this medallion means, and it's happening very fast. Last year, we had huge growth in the utilization by passengers of this airport. 6.8 million passengers came through this airport last year. They picked their way through construction, and we are grateful for that, and we appreciate their patience, but they came through this airport. They were either coming to our city and our region, or they were headed out connecting Columbus to the world. We also have had a significant expansion in air service over the last year, and that's the reason those numbers are up. And I also want to recognize our airline partners. Of course, we've had a very significant expansion in the number of flights from Southwest Airlines, but I want to make sure everyone understands that all of our airport partners here experienced growth in the last year through either additional flights, through added capacity, and one of the great strengths of this airport is the diversity of offerings that we have. We are not reliant upon a single carrier. We have all of our carriers serving a variety of cities, and if you add in the destinations that we serve through Rickenbacker, you can go nonstop from Columbus to 40 cities in America. And our goal, of course, is to add a number of cities across the world. With that, I'd like to conclude my remarks, tell you to fly, have your friends come visit. We have a lot to be proud of here, and I'm going to turn this over, if I could, to my colleague, Bill Heifner. Bill is chair of the Facilities Committee here at the airport, and he has been the responsible leader, along with his committee members, for the stewardship of this project. So without further ado, Bill?
Thank you, Susan. Wow, isn't this really cool? It's an exciting day. It's incredible. Over the last 3 years, it's been nonstop construction here at Port Columbus. Would you believe that we've installed more than 6 acres of new ceilings, almost 3 acres of new carpeting, and enough drywall to cover 50 basketball courts? Amazing. More amazing is the fact that we did all this work while maintaining an active airport terminal where we had more than 20 million people through the facility in the last 3 years. And if you think about it, if you're remodeling your kitchen and you have 25,000 people a day running through your construction site, it's been challenging. An undertaking of this magnitude would not have been possible without the support of our business partners, the airlines and the concessionaires, many of whom are here with us today. Thank you for your support, your patience, and your tolerance with the noise and with the drywall dust over the last 3 years. With my 35 years of construction experience, I can tell you it's a very challenging and daunting task to renovate an airport terminal facility while maintaining consistent daily operations. The logistical and security considerations are tremendous, and quite frankly, too much for many companies. But our team of designers and contractors rose to the occasion. First, I'd like to recognize our designers, AECOM, formerly URS. I think there's representatives here someplace, and also MSA Architects. Our hardworking construction crews turned our designers' vision into reality. Supporting the project were our construction partners. First, Turner Construction, representative, Messer, Cornica Cozing, and Gilbane. Awesome job. Congratulations. These companies relied on a group of trade contractors whom we've been recognizing on our video screens throughout the morning. But we're especially proud of the fact that 15% of the work was completed with small and economically disadvantaged businesses. The Columbus Regional Airport Authority values diversity, and while we weren't federally required to have diverse participation, we demonstrated our commitment to diversity by working with an outstanding group of diverse business partners. Again, my thanks to our designers, our team of contractors, our business partners for embracing the vision of Port Columbus and supporting us throughout this fantastic project. Thank you again. Susan?
So, you know, President Truman's favorite line about the buck stops here, I wish were true, but basically the buck stops lots of places in a project like this. But we as members of the board are very grateful that somewhere along the path to us, the buck stops at the desk of Elaine Roberts. Elaine is going to talk to us next about this project, and as I think you all know, Elaine is an incredibly accomplished leader. I won't go on at length about her many accomplishments here, but I do want everyone to know that yesterday she received the highest award given by the American Association of Airport Executives. Their chairman traveled to Columbus yesterday, he's here with us today, Jeff Mulder, to award in person the Distinguished Service Award to Elaine. So with that said, Elaine, our question is, what have you done for us lately? And I think she's going to tell us. So please welcome Elaine.
Good morning. The sun is shining on Columbus. What do you think, huh? Thank you, Susan and Bill and everyone for being here. Yesterday, we celebrated with all of the Airport Authority employees, all 400, because every single one of them had something to do with supporting this terminal modernization program for over 3 years, and we wanted to make sure they knew that we appreciated that. And you may even see the sign that goes up with all the names. Those are our employees, and then they form the words "thank you." We're here today to say thank you to the community and thank you to our partners who helped to build it, to our airline partners, our tenants who put up with the construction. It took a whole team and everybody had something to do with it. I want to, though, single out one major division. Obviously, somebody had to oversee the construction. The buck may stop with me, but I depended very heavily on our planning and engineering team, led by Robin Holderman, the Chief Development Officer, Brian Sarkis, our Vice President of Planning and Engineering, and Matt Devereaux, our Senior Project Manager, who was responsible for this program. Would those three gentlemen raise their hands, and all of the planning and engineering team, please raise your hand and be recognized. Bill shared some of the construction details, and they're very, very impressive, and I knew Bill would like those numbers as an engineer. What I'm really excited about is another part of this program that we call the Essence of Columbus. And you're seeing signs of it. Hopefully you got the little map and you've been able to spend some time exploring those new additions to our airport. You know, people say if you've seen one airport, you've seen one airport. And we truly want you to know you have seen a unique airport when you fly into this facility, because it is truly the front door to our city. And I'm going to just describe a few of the things that have gone on to make this a unique program reflecting of our great city and our great community. We added 4 new concessions. If you haven't tried them out, I highly recommend them. A couple of years ago, Donato's went into Concourse A, the Southwest Gate area. First Donato's in an airport in the country. We also added Eddie George's Grill 27 through the Concourse B checkpoint, Bob Evans Express, and our partner that works with us on our retail renovated and created the Short North Marketplace. So these are all reflecting our local community. The mosaic behind me, to me, is one of the best things that happened out of this program, because when you walk into the center of this facility, that is what you're going to see. Vibrant images of things going on in our great community, whether it's the arts, whether it's the dining scene, whether it's the sports. We just have so many great things that we're proud of here in the greater Columbus area. I hope you had time to visit our Legacy of Leadership lounges as well. On my right, when you came in the front door, is the original start of the history of this airport back to the late 1920s. And then on my left is the more modern history, beginning with Jerry Mock. And we have some descendants for those honorees that are with us today that I want to call out. Board member Don Casto, where are you, Don? Don's grandfather, Don Casto Sr., took the first commercial flight from the United States to Europe back in 1928, trying to champion a bond issue to get this airport built. And it was successful in 1929, and there's a plaque commemorating his grandfather in the Legacy of Leadership Lounge. We also have with us today Susan Reed. Susan? Here's Susan, the sister of Jerry Mock, the woman from Bexley who was the first woman to fly around the world solo, and we have a great exhibit and a sculpture commemorating her over in the Legacy of Leadership. This past weekend marked the 52nd anniversary from Jerry Mock's flight leaving Port Columbus and then she returned to this very airport 29 days later. So we have a tremendous amount of history identified with Port Columbus. I haven't met them yet, but I believe Eric Schottenstein and Holly Kasten are here. Are they here? Raise a hand. Excellent. They are the son and daughter of Mel Schottenstein, who was the first chairman of the Columbus Municipal Airport Authority when it was established in 1991 to run the airport in a professional way and to develop it for the greater good of this community. So thank you both for being here. Susan mentioned the medallion on the floor. Some of you probably haven't really been able to see it because it's been covered with people this morning, but it's an abstract image of the world. And the Columbus Regional Airport Authority's vision statement is literally to connect Ohio with the world. We can thank our former mayor, Michael Coleman, for having us elevate ourselves. Our vision used to be connecting Central Ohio with the world, and he said, "You're not thinking big enough. I want you to connect Ohio. We are Ohio's airport." So our vision changed. You see where Ohio is in the world, as well as Columbus right there in the center. There is also a medallion downstairs when you go down to baggage claim that welcomes people to our community, that's got the star, the state, and in 16 languages says, "Welcome. We are an international airport, and we're working on getting you more international flights." One last thing about the medallion I want to point out. Around the edges are some iconic images of structures and things that we think represent our state and our community, from the State House to the arches to the horseshoe, etc. One thing that somebody has asked me, so there's one right near the cameraman, and they didn't recognize what it was. And I said, that's because it's not built yet. We truly believe this is going to be an iconic image for Columbus. And it is the Ohio Veterans Memorial and Museum that is being built downtown on the riverfront. Guy Worley is here. He's overseeing the development, and he tells me it's under construction and promises it'll be open in 2018. So I felt safe in putting the inlay in the medallion. And then finally, one other major display I wanted to highlight. Right across from Max and Irma's is an area in the middle called the Notable Ohio Aviators Display. And in your little map, it described the individuals and the people that we've recognized. There are 12 people like John Glenn, Jerry Mock, Kathy Sullivan, the Tuskegee Airmen, and we have some of the honorees and their descendants with us today. So please let me introduce a few special people. I'd first like to introduce a gentleman who I am just honored and humbled to have met, Tuskegee Airman Donald Elder. He is a Congressional Gold Medal recipient. He was stationed at Rickenbacker. Donald. And I want to thank his wife, Faye, for being here as well. His wife told me that Donald is 87, and I do not believe it. He could run circles around me, I am sure. We also have a number of family members, granddaughters of Lonnie Carmen, Columbus's first black aviator, who literally built, there we are. Lonnie built his own airplane in his own backyard with no written plans. So, amazing story. All of these stories that I'm describing are on those displays that tells a little bit about them and has a picture of them as well. We also have Pat Gentile, who's the son of Don Gentile here. And Don was a leading fighter pilot in the Army Air Force during World War II. He shot down 30 enemy planes and even broke Eddie Rickenbacker's record. Don, are you here? Or Pat, I'm sorry. Pat, thank you. And we also have with us today Scott and Dan Gillespie and Devon Hattie. They are children of Captain Ed Gillespie, who was a preeminent Navy test pilot who flew over 80 combat missions during the Korean War. Are they here? Please raise your hand. Okay. There we are. Okay. We are truly honored to have all of these individuals with us here today celebrating the great history of Port Columbus. It is now my honor to introduce someone who needs no introduction, but we are very pleased to have with us, and that is our mayor, Mayor Andy Ginther. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
What a great day in the city of Columbus. We are excited to be here and excited to celebrate our step to the next level. And as we celebrate and congratulate this great, magnificent collaboration, we have our eyes set on the future and the great progress of this city. You know, I have to acknowledge two folks before I make some very brief remarks. First of all, and I know Elaine made mention of him, but we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge former Mayor Michael B. Coleman, his vision, his commitment to this process and getting us to where we are here today. Please give him a round of applause. And I don't know about you, but I think Elaine Roberts is one in a million. And she's done a dynamic job here. And I know that there were two people who were absolutely essential in landing Elaine Roberts in Columbus. And I know one of them is here today, Kathy Rancière, who was personally charged with recruiting Elaine here, and Frank Vopst, and thank God they closed the deal. I'm a big fan of partnerships, and I believe that by working together, we can build a stronger Columbus in Central Ohio. I can't think of a better example of this than where we're standing today. Look around. The cultural scenes depicted on the atrium mosaic, the economic development messages on the video walls, the medallion inlays of iconic Columbus locations, literature at the new Customer Service Center. The Airport Authority worked with community partners to elevate the passenger experience while also providing them an exciting and memorable impression of our great city. The airport involved everyone from Experience Columbus to Columbus 2020, the Greater Columbus Arts Council to the Short North Business Association to be part of this transformation. And they're not done. The airport's working closely with CODA as it launches daily scheduled shuttle service that will run downtown every 30 minutes beginning in May. The Airport Authority, led by Susan Tomasky and Elaine Roberts, are to be commended for their non-stop dedication to this community. And we're blessed with dynamic women leading some of the biggest and best institutions and organizations in this community. And it is now my honor to introduce you to another one, our dear friend, our great partner and ally, Commissioner Marilyn Brown.
What a day, and what a great day to celebrate with all of you. I want to thank you all for being here today. And on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, I want to say all of the things that have been said before are so true. And beyond that, for us in Franklin County, you know we believe that this airport is the front door to our great community. We know that when people come here, we want them to spend money. We want them to come here for great economic development. We want them to come here because they come for weddings, for great visitor experiences, and spend their sales tax dollars here because that's what makes us a great community. That's what funds all of our social safety net, our safety services in Franklin County. That's what makes this such a great community. And that's why all of you are great partners in this whole endeavor. We have to be working together and move this airport. As this community has grown up, so is this airport growing up around us, and boy, has it grown up. Look around you, look at the natural lighting, look at the localized efforts that have been done to make this airport truly ours. And when people come in from out of state, out of the country, they will see this is who we are, who we in Central Ohio are as a community. We support arts, we support culture, we support business, sports, we support all of who we are in this room today. So, you know, this is about the future of our community, and this airport took those messages that were given by so many of us and took it to heart. And I want to thank all of the contractors, all of the leaders who took those messages that they got and put it into this wonderful renovation and modernization. I mean, this is terrific. The board members are to be commended, the leadership of this institution. Elaine, without you at the helm, none of this would happen. And thank you for that. Appreciate all of the hard work that's been done. We couldn't do this without public and private sector working together, which is the Columbus way. And it is my pleasure right now to introduce you to one of our great friends in the community who heads up a great private sector institution, the Columbus Partnership. He's a good friend of mine and a good friend of many of you in the room, my friend Alex Fisher, who wants to give some remarks.
Thank you, Commissioner. So in life and in business, you really only have a few moments to make a first impression. Sometimes it comes in a handshake, sometimes it's in a meeting, sometimes it's in a phone call. Other times that first impression comes when you land at a city's airport. And today, Mayor and Commissioner, I can tell you that that first impression that Elaine Roberts has created is befitting of the greatest city in America, Columbus. This is indeed the gateway for business. There are cities all over America that are envious of the economic prosperity that we enjoy in our city. You can look to the arrivals and the departures, and you'll see 23 flights to New York City, 22 flights to Chicago, 15 flights to Atlanta, 15 flights to DC, flights to LA and to the Bay Area. This facility is our most important business tool in economic development, truly connecting Columbus's businesses to the centers of commerce in the world. Without it, we wouldn't be enjoying the prosperity that we are enjoying today. A part of that first impression are these wonderful civic organizations and imagery of Columbus. And a new addition are the images of iconic Columbus businesses. Companies like American Electric Power, companies, Holly Mel would be proud that MI Homes is featured here in the concourses, a local homegrown company that now is operating all over the country. The world's greatest and largest research institute, Battelle, the country's greatest insurance company and Nationwide, the leading pediatric hospital, Nationwide Children's Hospital, Express, Chase, who has more employees in Columbus than in New York City, Huntington Bank, and the list goes on and on. The first impression is going to be an impression of a dynamic civic community, an impression of a great place for visitors to come and have fun, and a great place for people to come and do business. I congratulate Irene from the Columbus 2020 staff and Elaine for really driving forward on this imagery. Experience Columbus and all of our partners. This is indeed the modern terminal that is befitting of a great city. And it is fantastic to be here today and to celebrate it with Elaine. I'll turn it back over to the other duo of another tremendous leader in our community. Elaine's gotten a lot of praise, deservedly so, but she's had the backing of an outstanding board and an outstanding board chair. And so, Susan, to you and the entire board from a grateful business community, thanks for what you're doing to make the most important economic asset befitting of our great city. Thank you.
Well, we've got some good news here, and the good news is the talking's about over. And thank you very much, Alex, for those kind remarks. What we're going to do now is really fun. I'd like to invite all the speakers back to the stage because we are going to illuminate the next chapter in the airport's history, and it's time to flip the switch on the Columbus region's continued growth, development, and collaboration. And we're going to literally flip the switch right over here. From 5, 4, 3, 2,